What is up? Welcome to the Tuesday edition of LFG. I like how our show always starts with "Are you ready?" and like sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. Today's
how it is, baby.
Today's one of those days where I'm really kind of not. I'm trying. I'm trying to get some things squared away for the trip to London tonight, and also trying to get this promo out. And it's maddening to me because for some reason I'm making a promo for every legal word, and for some reason it is I don't know what it's doing, but it's like it's taking away when it's like I edited it last night, and there's a spot where, like at the beginning, there's a graphic that says hear the testimony, and then there's supposed to be a graphic that says see the evidence. And for some reason, the see the evidence didn't come out on the first one that I exported. So now I just added see the evidence to update it and exported that, and now here the testimony has disappeared. Like, I don't know, Premiere is just messing with me. So anyway, Coz, I don't know how much video editing you do, but I don't know if it's a lot or not.
I got it,
None.
Dave. I'll do it.
What
do you mean you got it?
Any editing I do goes through Matt.
Oh, really? Matt edits for
I
you?
know. I don't even know how to edit.
I didn't know you had a side editing deal going on with Matt.
Yes, exactly. Every time I need a little something cut down, spliced up, he's there. He's got my back.
That's amazing.
I'm so good to him on the air all the time.
Yeah, I mean the invoice is in the mail. It's lost. It hasn't gotten there. I don't know what the deal is, but I'll keep doing it.
Exactly, brother. That's what I like.
Well, that's good. How much? What's the arrangement there? Are we allowed to discuss terms?
He's just what are the things I have are pretty easy, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah,
it's like clip off 3 seconds here and 3 seconds there, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, I can do that."
Yeah. Well, what was funny was the first time he asked me to do it, he explained it in a way where it sounded like it was going to be insanely complicated, and then I went and looked at it, and I said, "Oh, you just want me to do this?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Oh, that'll take me literally 10 seconds." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." What I should have done was said, "No, this is really complicated. It's going to take me 4 hours." And, really kind of milked it.
The complicated part is that I was so specific with my instructions to make it easy on him that he couldn't follow it. So I was like, all right, I see where this is going. So I'm going to, what is it? KISS, keep it simple, stupid?
Yeah. Yes, the KISS method is always the way to go.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I had editing times down. I was like, from this time to this time, you say, and you go, oh, and then he just looks at it, he goes, yeah, you want this out and this out? And so you got to speak your own language. Know your audience. Isn't that the first rule of communication? Know your audience.
I believe that's something to do with that. That is the know your audience is a big one. You really should try to know your audience at the very least.
I'm going to be a little ornery today. I'm not going to lie. I'm already a little ornery. You might have noticed I'm a little down. The energy's a little down today. I am preparing for a doctor's procedure tomorrow, so I have to be on a strictly liquid diet all day. And not having any food in your system will wear you down.
That doesn't sound fun.
No.
Is it one of these normal procedures as you get older? It's one of those.
Just gotta get it. I mean, I could say what it is. It's just no one cares about it.
Is it a colonoscopy for 1,000?
It is a colonoscopy. It is for
ding,
1,000.
Ding, ding, ding. Where's my bell here?
No, give me a bell.
Hold on. I need a bell for the colonoscopy. Guess here it is. Here you go. There you go.
I made a rookie mistake, although this is the second time I'm having this done, and you get one every 10 years, right? In fact, they've moved it back. It used to be 50. Now they want you to start getting them at 45. Regardless of all that, I made a rookie mistake. I am having it done close to first thing in the morning. So all day today I have to prepare for it. Now, my friend said, no. Get the last one of the day, like the last slot of the day, like at 4:30 in the afternoon. That way, you fast when you go to sleep at night, so you've gone your 8 hours without eating, and then you only have to do like that day to prepare your body, and boom, you go in and get it done. So, I'm going the extra. I'm doing a little bit longer. I'm going to be hurting. I got to get up in the middle of the night and take stuff. This is going to be brutal.
I have to schedule a schedule one, Coach.
Yep.
Which is not ideal. I've done one already. And when I had one, they told me that there was nothing significant, but they told me, you need to come back in a couple of years, and it's time. So I'm looking forward to that. The prep is not fun. I'm not gonna lie.
The prep does suck, but I will say it's the best hour of sleep you're ever gonna get. And they put you out. It's amazing.
Really?
It's
See, like
it's
when
a
I
great
had
hour.
mine, I didn't get put out at all. It was just you're like
Really?
you're like conscious.
No, I
And then
went out.
afterwards, is it like David after dentist afterwards? Are you just hella like jacked up on drugs and you're just
Well, you can't drive. They won't let you
can't
drive
drive.
after. There's
No,
there's no driving. So yeah,
Okay.
you've got that to look forward to, Matt. That'll be that'll be a good time for you in your future to have that coming up.
Well, speaking of getting knocked out and getting operated on, I did find out that I do have to have my wisdom teeth taken out at some point. Which
Ooh, you're waiting
I
a
am-
little long for that. You're in your 30s for that. I had mine, I think, at 20, 21.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Mine were
That's-
not easy. I was spitting chips of tooth out of my mouth 5 and 10 years later.
Ugh.
Yeah. They couldn't.
Oh,
They were
man.
embedded pretty good. They had to chip them out, and they didn't get all of it out. So your body eventually takes care of it. So good luck with that. And I'll need good luck tomorrow I actually need good luck tonight. That's really the problem. Is
Yeah, well, you'll
go
be
time
fine,
starts
dude.
at-
You'll be
yeah.
fine. You'll crush it.
Yeah. 24 hours from now, hopefully, I'll be in this exact same spot, just watching television. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless because we'll get to that later.
So anyway, yeah, the good luck to you. Good luck to you, my
Thank
friend.
you, my friend.
So
I will say this just for anyone listening: get it done if you need to get it done. I was at a golf tournament recently for colorectal cancer, and it's in honor of a guy who was in his late 40s and found out that he had it, and it was too late. So and again at that time, I don't even think they wanted you to get tested at 45, but please do it. I know it sounds like it only happens to other people, but make sure you get tested.
there you go. That's
Public service announcement.
those are words of wisdom right there. Words of wisdom from Jim Kozimor.
Yep.
Love
I've
it.
got a hot doctor who's performing my procedure, so that's going to be awesome.
There you go.
All right, so are we actually going to talk about sports today? Like, today's kind of like a slow day. Although Jim Kozimor, I think
Yes.
we should maybe get right to the 2-minute minor today. I don't know if you're ready to go with that. I don't want to
Yeah,
put that
I'll
on
make
you
it
like
happen.
right away.
No, I'll do
But-
it. I'll make it happen.
All right,
You
let's
just
let me
know.
get the 2-minute minor music queued up here, and then we can go right into the 2-minute minor because the NHL pretty much had the world of sports to itself last night. There was no NBA last night. I mean, there was baseball, but those of us who were not betting parlays, we really didn't have much action invested in that. So, Coz, what was give us a 2-minute minor from the NHL?
A thriller last night in British Columbia. Game 7s are always the best thing in sport, and we had one in the National Hockey League last night. Precursor, the previous night we had 2 Game 7s in the NBA in which the road team was victorious. One, Indiana in New York. The other, what was that one? What was the other one? Dallas no.
You're talking about
Indiana.
Minnesota, Denver.
Minnesota in Denver.
Yeah.
And the road team won. Would it be a precursor to what would happen in the National Hockey League? The Vancouver Canucks got blown out 5-1 in Game 6. They come back home for home ice, and it did not start well. They found out just before the game that their best player, Brock Besser, had a blood clot and was unable to play in game number 7. He had to have treatment, so they were without their best offensive player. And early on, it did not bode well. They gave up the first goal of the game very early. Their goalkeeper, though, who is a minor league goalie, starting the playoffs for Vancouver because their top 2 goalkeepers both were injured in the series, has been phenomenal. From that point on, he was fantastic. Although, into the third period, Edmonton scored one more time. It was 2-0. Edmonton scored again to make it 3-0 with about 10 minutes to play, and it looked like it was all over. But here come the Canucks. They get a freak goal, which is what happens in the National Hockey League, to make it 3-1, and the place explodes. The momentum starts to shift. A turnover in their own end by Edmonton, and the puck is picked up by the Canucks. They shoot, they score. It's 3-2 with about 4.5 minutes to play. For 4.5 minutes, it's an onslaught. It is a one-directional onslaught. It's as if the ice was shifted and tilted, and everything was going at Edmonton. with less than 10 seconds to go. They had an opportunity to tie the game on a wrister, but it hit a leg in front of the net. Unfortunately for Vancouver, it did not go in, and the game ended with a 3-2 Edmonton win. And the Edmonton Oilers win Game 7 on the road, just as they did in the NBA, and they move on to the Western Conference Final to take on Dave Benz's Dallas Stars.
How are they my Dallas Stars? I just have a lot of friends in Dallas who are rooting for the Stars.
Well, you said you were hoping to go, but I know you have other plans.
Yeah.
They're your team now.
Although, listen, how great is that? How great would that be right now if you wanted to? Has the schedule come out yet? So, I mean, if you wanted to make a little trip to Dallas, right? So the Stars have home ice. So they'll be starting in Dallas. You could probably work it out. You could hit games 1 and 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and then, or sorry, not the Stanley Cup Finals, the Conference Finals, and then you could stay in Dallas and you could hit games 3 and 4 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals.
Amazing.
That'd be a pretty good little trip to Dallas, right?
Boy, if only they had done a show like kind of showing the arena in one calendar year and all the things that happen in an arena. If only someone had thought of that idea.
Don't rub it in, Coz. Come on.
Imagine that. Two teams in a conference final.
If only somebody had thought of that. I don't know why nobody would have thought of that. That was.
And this is, by the way, we're coming up on I think one of the great weekends on the sports calendar. It involves the NHL, the NBA, and IndyCar racing. This is Memorial Day weekend coming up. And so you will start to have, in the NHL, they do a great job of trying to get, like Eastern Conference Final starts one day, Western Conference starts the next day, and they go every other day. It just flip-flops through the weekend. And so you get a game every day, and then Memorial Day, is it Sunday?
You are an actress, a porn actress, right?
Yes.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Well, you signed it. That's your signature on it, right?
What is the date on that truth post by Mr. Trump calling you a horse face and sleaze bag?
Get rain. I do love the Indy 500.
I think the jury is entitled to know.
In the world, for me.
I'll do it briefly.
I guess
very briefly.
It's a great sports week because you'll have the same thing in the NBA, right? Don't they do like every other day? There's an NBA game.
Exactly.
And it starts tomorrow in the NHL. I don't know when it starts in the NBA, but it starts
tonight.
Tomorrow.
You are an actress, a porn actress, right?
Yes.
Pacers are tipping it off.
Well, you signed it. That's your signature.
5 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Hawaii, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain. I got it all covered.
I'm going to be there. Hey, I'm going to be in Hawaii. Is it June 1? June 1, 2? So whatever games, you're going to have to tell me the time, the start time.
I am so jealous of you, man. I want to go back to Hawaii so bad.
Why don't you go? It's not for you guys, it's like going to, Fresno.
Well, I don't know if it's quite going to Fresno, but it is easier to get to Hawaii than it is to get to the East Coast.
Well, no, you're right. It's easier to get there. It's just expensive. Not to get there, but it's expensive once you get there for hotels.
No, not in the summer. Do an Airbnb. Not in the summertime. I think you probably get better rates. People aren't going in the summer.
Well, no. See, the other thing, and I used to do Hawaii. Well, we used to do Hawaii. I had nothing to do with it. I just went along. We used to do Hawaii for annual vacation forever for like 20 years, and
so did we. We're the same way.
And from what I've been told, because I've never been there in the summertime, and we always stay in hotels and stuff, and what I was told was A, it's too hot in the summertime, and B, everybody comes in the summertime because the kids are out of school, and so the kids are out of school, so all the families show up, and
interesting.
And so when we would go, we always would go in between a 4 or 5 month period, in between December and April. We would always
we would Easter it up. That was our move, was Eastering it up. Every year we went for Easter. Yeah.
So that way it's not too hot, and it's and you still get kind of the summer vibe. But then if you go in December, you can always, it's nice year round there. I went twice during the pandemic. There was a girl involved, but there always is.
Yeah, I know.
There was a girl involved. Okay.
And there's girls and gambling. That's the only thing. It's the double G's. G squared.
It's GGA, girls, gambling, and alcohol. So if you combine all three of those things, you usually have a recipe for either a disastrous or a really good weekend.
Man,
So
look at you.
But
As
no,
long as you're not doing the gummies, my friend.
the the gummies. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, but Hawaii's fun. Hawaii is definitely fun, and
What island were you?
well, that time I went twice during the pandemic was Oahu.
I'm a big Oahu guy. I'm a huge Oahu guy. I'm not as big on Maui and and I don't even know if I've been to another island, but I'm all about Oahu. And people say, "Oh, that's trash." I don't think it is. I love it.
No, I mean it depends on which side you go to. For me, I was on the Ko'olina side. I like the Ko'olina side better.
Ko'olina's great. I've been to Ko'olina.
Yeah, yeah. So
See, we stay in a town. My wife grew up in Kailua, and so we go to the town. We don't go to resorts or anything like that. So we actually stay in a house in her old neighborhood, and I'm telling you, 90-second walk to the beach. It is pretty amazing. And then we'll take day trips there. We'll go to the North Shore. We'll do Turtle Bay. We got a lot of different things we like to do. So
yeah,
looking forward to it.
My spoiled ass always stays in hotels. So actually, you know what? I think we stayed in an apartment one time when we went there. But see, with me, being beachfront is a little bit more necessary than others because I have a little bit of trouble walking, and so it's a little bit easier if it's just beachfront. And that way, it's better that way. But then again, that comes with a lot of cost to it. And when I turned 18, Mom and Dad said, "Okay, well, when we go to Hawaii now, we'll get the lodging, but you got to pay for everything else." And so it became very much more expensive for me. It went from a zero cost to me to about $1,000 every time we did it. So
my goal, because we always go to a town in Oahu, is to stay at the Moana Surf Rider in Waikiki, which is right on the main drag, but it's one of the oldest hotels. It is spectacular. It is gorgeous. You walk through the lobby, and you're right into the pools, and another 5 steps, and you're right onto the beach. It is fantastic. So that's my goal, to one day stay there. But my family loves staying in Kailua, so we stay in Kailua. But I'll be taking a booze cruise. I'm going on a booze cruise this time.
Are you gonna swim with dolphins, Coase?
I've swum with dolphins, not in Hawaii, in other areas. I've done it, but I've not done it in Hawaii. Dolphins could rip your face off. Did you know that? They're one of the most violent animals on the planet.
They are cute and cuddly, but they are violent and they will murder you.
Yes, they will. Yeah, it's true. They are adorable with their squeaky voices and their flapping their tails and stuff. But if they and we were swimming with them, and they come up and kiss you on the cheek. But if you get one who is in a bad way, they will eat your face off like you're on bath salts, man.
Have you ever been to a luau?
Oh gosh, yes. I've
those.
been to a number of them. Can't go wrong with the luau. Boy, that's a lot of food, though, isn't it? That's a lot of food. You come out of there not quite feeling the same.
The luau is definitely they definitely feed you. There's no question.
Yes, and I drink Mai Tais like they're going out of style. I think I have it with breakfast.
There was a trip that the family took. I think I was 18, either 17 or 18, and that was the first time we were allowed to bring a couple of friends. And as predicted, when you get 4 18-year-old guys that have access to a Dodge Charger, and it generally doesn't work out too well. It was really fun.
Access to a Dodge Charger. What does the Dodge Charger have to do with anything?
It just makes us look cool and therefore inflates our egos.
Okay.
And
Muscle car.
Right. So we ended up bar hopping one time. None of us drove because we couldn't. But we ended up bar hopping.
You can't drive. Oh, you can't drive. I thought you meant you weren't old enough to drive. All right, go ahead.
No,
I was going to say not old enough to drive yet going bar hopping.
No. Well, my brother actually had his license. He was old enough to drive, but we didn't drive because of the alcohol intake. But we were 17, 18 years old. But the bartender at this particular establishment, which has since hilariously been closed by the ABC for serving minors, decided not to ID us. So
There you go.
You were talking about Mai Tais stuff. Have you ever had an AMF, Coz?
Never even heard of it, but you've got my attention.
What is an AMF?
An AMF stands for adios, and I will let you deduce what the MF stands for.
Oh, wow.
And so what that is it's basically a Long Island iced tea with like 7 alcohols. And
Whoa.
so I thought it would be a good idea to have 4 of those in a span of, I don't know, about an hour and a half. And needless to say, if I had trouble walking before, I definitely had trouble walking after that. And we all, let's see, we ended up in a rainstorm. We lost our friend. It was his birthday. We ended up in a rainstorm walking on the side of the freeway, or the side of the road, in Maui. My dad came, picked us up. Needless to say, they were not too happy with us. But hey, that's what happens when you're young and stupid. So
Yeah.
it was a good time.
You know what? Good story. I'm glad you made it out alive.
Yeah. Also, little bit of advice: do not mess with the locals there.
They don't like Howleys.
The Kama Aina?
They don't like Howleys.
Kama Aina?
because
They don't like Howleys. No, they don't.
We-
The Kama
we-
Aina rate, man, I always ask for because my wife grew up there. Kama Aina, baby.
we met this very lovely, or she seemed like a very lovely woman at the bar we were at. We were all having fun drinking, and she was buying us drinks, but we were racking up a huge bar tab, and so we told her, hey, we will contribute our portion of the bar tab when it comes time to pay the bill. So I had to go to the bathroom. So I excused myself, and apparently in her drunken state, she thought that I had ditched her and, left her with the bill.
Oh, yeah.
I had given her my cell phone number. So she called me.
Oh, boy.
I was in the bathroom, and I obviously didn't answer.
She
So-
didn't know you were in the bathroom.
Right, exactly. So,
All right.
so I come out, and my phone buzzes, and I look, and I start listening to this voicemail, and this woman who was so nice left me the meanest voicemail I've ever heard in my life. This is why I don't hang out with you, Taurus. And she, I mean, the FCC would not be.
Wait, why didn't you answer? How did you not answer?
Because I was in the bathroom, and that's what you not do when you're in the
All right.
bathroom. You don't answer your phone.
All right.
But it was pretty funny, though, because I walked out, and she saw me, and I kind of looked at her, and she waved at me, hey, come over, drink more. So, moral of the story, don't mess with the locals, and there's some good alcohol in Hawaii.
They have Kill Howley Day. Did you know that?
What?
At the local schools, Kill Howley Day is
What?
just beat 'em up. It's not literally, but it's if there's a day of the year when the non-Islanders don't go to school because they know they're going to get beat up that day.
Really?
Yep,
That's
it's called
crazy.
Kill Howley Day.
Never heard of
Yeah,
such
it's not.
a thing.
It's not like it's on an official calendar. Like if you were to buy a calendar in Hawaii, it's not printed on the calendar,
Well, I
but
don't-
it is known as Kill Howley Day.
I think it would be some sort of an illegal thing if it was printed on the calendar.
Yes,
That's the,
yes.
That
You don't know though. They make their own rules. You never
would
know.
be- there'd be some.
But listen, I'd
outrage
take
there.
my chances. I would go live in Hawaii and take my chances. That would be
Absolutely.
To get this back to sports, I do like the athletic programs that they have there. And I do.
You're
wanna
an
go to
actress,
events,
a
sporting
porn
events around
actress,
there. I do
right?
like to see that. And
Yes.
I've been watching. They just had their state championships for
Well, you
boys
signed it.
volleyball,
That's your
and
signature
it's a
on
big
it, right?
deal out there.
What is the date on
The
that truth
sports
post
that
by
they
Mr.
do
Trump
have,
calling
they
you
really
a
get
horse
behind,
face
so I think
and
that's really
sleaze
cool.
bag?
My friend Steve.
I think the
our
jury
friend
is
Steve
entitled to know.
Zucker Is the head coach.
I'll do it
Weekdays,
briefly.
Very
basketball
briefly.
team on Hilo, I think.
Really?
Yeah, let me pull it up. But yeah, he's
That's really cool. I would tell you that would be a job that I would like if you could do, Dave, like the
The
University of Hawaii.
Oh, heck yeah.
All their
I
sports.
would take that in a second.
Yep. And there's a guy that's been doing them for like 30 years, and his son is now training to be the next guy. So that's that. I think that job's going to be in the family. That's like a plot of land or something that families passed down for generations.
University of or the Hawaii Hilo Vulcans is the men's basketball program over there, and our buddy Steve, it's a family friend of ours. He was the head coach for the Humboldt State Lumberjacks back in
Ooh,
the day,
nice.
and we had a cabin up in Trinity Village, which isn't that far from Humboldt, and so he's a family friend of ours, and he got the job in Hawaii, and he's
Man.
living it up over there.
What a nice upgrade that is, huh? going from Humboldt, where they're just growing dope, to
You're not
wrong. The big conglomerates are putting the little guy out of business. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, all right. Listen, so I've been.
And there's no dope in Hawaii, by the way. I said that I didn't finish that. Growing
There is
dope
no
in
dope
Humboldt.
in Hawaii?
There is absolutely no dope in Hawaii.
Oh, there is
Really?
absolutely dope in Hawaii. There are.
Not
there
unless
are,
you're if you're at Nelly's place, I'm sure you can find all you need.
He's growing it. Do you know that he grows his own Nelly Kush? Is
Nelly
what they call
Kush.
It.
I want
Yeah.
some of the Nelly Kush.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. He's got Nelly Kush, but he can't sell it. He doesn't have a license to, but he grows his own.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, there used to be a time where if you did too many drugs, they would send the dog after you, Dog the Bounty Hunter. That was his territory there. But yeah, not so much anymore. He's on tour with his new fiance, and they're getting everybody right with the Lord is what they're doing.
Yeah, good for
so.
them. Good for
That's
them.
an
You know what?
important. That's an important thing. All right, listen. Let's take a time out. When we come back, we should actually, start talking about something other than Hawaii.
I have something for you on that. On sports.
what
All
do you
right,
have?
when we come back, because 2 Game 7s were won in the NBA by the visiting team, and last night in the NHL, the road team won in the East to go to the Western Conference Final. Are the playoffs more wide open in the NBA and the NHL than they've ever been? Because these important Game 7s where you fight all year to get home court, it's not working out. It's not like it used to be, especially in the NBA. Usually the NBA, it happens. I think we can talk about whether or not these are wide open races because the Game 7s don't seem to matter being at home.
I think 3 of the 4 teams in the NBA could win the title. I'll tell you which one I don't think can win the title coming up.
That's a good tease.
And you guys are not going to be able to see it because for some reason my virtual camera isn't working, but the people in the audience will. They saw me probably trying to put it up. I thought I had it loaded before the show, but then I realized it was not the right version. But I do have the world premiere of the proper version of the promo for every legal word. Coz, did you watch it, by the way?
I did. Did you see I texted you?
Oh,
I
did
texted
you?
back.
Okay,
yeah,
all right, hold on.
back.
Well, I'm going to
yeah.
play at the world premiere. We can talk about that coming up as well. So this is the world premiere of the promo for every legal word.
You are an actress, a porn actress, right?
Yes.
Well, you signed it. That's your signature on it, right?
What is the date on that truth post by Mr. Trump calling you a horse face and sleazebag?
I think the jury is entitled to know.
I'll do it briefly.
Very briefly.
When I said someone should spank you with that, that's the only interest I have in that magazine.
Counselor, we discussed this.
No, we did not. Not about this, Your Honor. And isn't it a fact that you were the one who attacked your boyfriend?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you have any intention of approaching either Mr. Trump or Michael Cohen, his attorney, to have them pay for your story?
What about your wife? He said, don't worry about that. We don't even sleep in the same room.
Is it just this, Dave?
In a city of 8 million people, it's not easy to find the one, your soulmate, somebody to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, that's what happened. No, I got invited anyway.
What was that?
Nothing.
You mumbled something.
No, I didn't.
Coming this summer, it's the movie about nothing.
Hey, Jerry, Dick Corcoran, president of France.
I know who you are.
Idiot. Serenity now!
You get fired! Then what are you gonna do? Move back home?
Join Jerry.
I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Just a salad. Just a salad.
George.
I think you mean it.
I do!
Here's my coat.
Take it!
2 sleeves.
Put it on!
I'm gone.
I'm going home using my own toilet. No judgment.
Elaine.
I'm here because I was wondering if you might be interested in this.
And Kramer.
You're all hopped up on the caffeine.
on an unforgettable adventure.
Black dog rules! Dog, jackass!
Mom! We're not gay!
So I'm coming out of the closet.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm Cosmo Kramer, the Yes Man.
This is super awkward.
I call him Golden Boy.
Yellow? Seriously, yellow. I don't have a boyfriend. I have lots of boyfriends. Ask around.
They're all back for one last wild ride.
Why do they call it Ovaltine?
Don't you drag me into this.
Wear the same shirt, we'll look like idiots.
Please, Mr. Wilhelm, you gotta listen to me.
Hey, I'm just a fan.
It's the braless wonder.
Nothing for you. Who told you to put the bomb on? You very Batman.
You're an anti-dentist.
I can hurt you.
Oh, Susan.
Every single girlfriend is back.
You call me Schmoopy, you're Schmoopy.
She had man hair.
And yada, 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 I'm really tired today. She's a two-face.
I don't have a square to spare.
I hate you.
You're horrible, horrible.
Marissa Tomei!
Nova? A gymnast, Jerry. She's one of these low talkers. You can't hear a word she's saying.
They should sleep together, you idiots, not sleep together.
George dating a lady Jerry.
And of course,
They're real and they're spectacular.
it's Seinfeld, the movie. Coming soon.
Hello, Newman.
You are an actress, a porn actress, right?
Yes.
Your Escape Studios Sports Update with Matt Fowler.
It's Caitlin Clark's world, and we're all just living in it. She's got another big endorsement deal on the way. The 2024 WNBA #1 draft pick and the NCAA Division I basketball's all-time leading scorer has signed a multi-year partnership deal with Wilson that will include a signature basketball collection. According to the boardroom, the only other athlete who has developed a signature collection with Wilson is his heiress, Michael Jordan. For all the latest news, updates, and outtakes, tune in to LFG with Dave Benz, Jim Kozimor, associate producer Bisa, and myself, producer Matt Fowler. Now back to LFG on a Tuesday.
I like that. I agree. I agree with you. Yep. I agree. Yep. Yep. Okay. Sure. If I had to handicap it, I would probably go with the chalk. I would say the Rangers and the Stars are the two best teams left. Doesn't mean they're playing the best, but they're the two best teams left. And then I would go Florida, and then I would say Edmonton. So I would go New York, Dallas, Florida, Edmonton. And I do think there's a good chance we see the chalk that ends up being in the Stanley Cup final. But with that said, the NHL is unlike what the NBA used to be. It used to be in the NBA, you had home court advantage, you were going to win the series. It basically was it. It was out of the realm usually to win a Game 7 on the road. It has happened as far back as, was it 80 or 81 when Magic was a center? Remember, they moved him to center when Kareem was out against the Philadelphia 76ers, and he had that incredible game. It was a Game 6, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't a Game 7, but he still won on the road.
It was.
It was, yeah.
1980. Yes, it was 1980, and he took Kareem's seat on the plane, and he said, "Never fear, Magic is here," and the rest is history.
Yep. It is incredible what happened then, but I do think that it's more wide open. The National Hockey League has always been more wide open, where you see a lot more road teams going into barns and winning. The NBA, it's a big story. That's why the famous line came up, Dave. Series doesn't start until a road team.
And wasn't it Magic that said that?
Boy, I don't know. That's a good one.
I think it was Magic Johnson who said that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he borrowed it from somebody else
Mm-hmm.
because they've been playing postseason series in sports for a long time. So I don't know, if Magic came up with that's in a Magic original, but I do remember him saying that back in the day. But so you think you think that at the end of the day, it's hard to handicap the NHL when you see every team having a potential path.
Yep.
And the
Listen,
NBA
the team I have is the fourth team of the four left.
Right.
Has the best player in the game, in Connor McDavid. And usually, if you're the NBA and you've got the best player in the game, there's a good chance you're going to make it to the final. And in this league, in the NHL, it's the opposite for me. So you got guys who can come up with big games. It's a little bit more like baseball, where it could be an unsung hero scores a big goal, just like in baseball. An unsung hero has a 3-for-4 game, and the next thing you know, the backup second baseman is a World Series hero.
Yeah, like Mark Scutaro was back in the day.
That's a great one, Marco Scutaro.
Yeah. I feel like the NBA, you've got the West. I feel like whoever wins the West will win the NBA unless Boston is
Really?
So I don't think Indiana can win the title. I think Indiana can win the East because I don't think Porzingis is healthy, and I think Indiana is deeper, and I feel like Indiana could beat Boston. I don't think Indiana can beat Minnesota. If Dallas got through, maybe I'd give Indiana a shot because Rick Carlisle obviously knows the Mavericks. By the way, how good would that be? The Mavericks and the Pacers with Rick Carlisle going against his former team and Mark Cuban. So I guess maybe I would say I could see the Pacers maybe could win if they took on Dallas. But I think that they would need Dallas to be the team. I don't think the Pacers could beat the Timberwolves. I think that the Mavericks would still be favored in my mind over the Pacers. I think the Celtics I would like over the Mavericks if it ended up being Boston and Dallas. And if it's Minnesota and Boston, I think Minnesota wins unless Boston has Porzingis healthy, and then maybe you got a shot. I'm going to need to look up, by the way. I don't think Minnesota has won a game in Boston since before the Timberwolves traded KG to Boston.
Wow.
That's how long it's been.
Who's the best player left in the NBA? The NBA conference championships. Now, like, I know Connor McDavid is the best player available in the NHL series. Can we pinpoint who the best player left is in the NBA playoffs?
Well, I mean, you would probably have to say it's who the candidates would be: Luka, Kyrie, Ant.
Jason Tatum,
and Halliburton.
And
Halliburton.
Wow. Well, Halliburton would be last on that list.
Right.
Yeah. He's still good. That doesn't mean he's not a great player. It just means of the list that we're talking about, he's not the guy.
Right.
Speaking of lists, can I just jump in here? I don't want to hijack anything, but you're talking about the NBA and how wide open it is. I was looking at the last 20 years of NBA champions from 2000 to 2023.
And you realize that one of the Warrior teams was the worst champion that we've seen since the 2011 Dallas Mavericks.
No. What I realized is the Eastern Conference sucks by and large. No, it does.
Wow.
I mean, if you the
West Coast bias.
No, it's not West Coast bias. It's just true. And of course, where did my list go? I just
that is a Chernobyl level take that the East Coast sucks.
Hang on. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up because it's.
You gonna whip out your list?
Yeah, I'm whipping it out right now.
All right.
So Here it is from, I'll go fast. Here it is, 2000 to 23. Lakers, Spurs, Pistons, Spurs, Miami, Spurs, Celtics, Lakers, Mavericks, Miami, Spurs, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, and Nuggets. Okay, so I missed one East team in there. Milwaukee's technically in the East. So it's just
Milwaukee, Miami, any M team, they win in the East. Keep going.
But no, that's it since 2000. I just named them all since 2000, and there's been a decidedly dominance on the part of the Western Conference. And I just think, just by and large, I mean, even the years, I'll take the Warriors out of it, even the years that LeBron was going, remember, what was it? LeBron went to 9 straight finals, right? Who the hell did he beat to get there? And
what are you talking about, man? When the Heat and the Bulls had some great wars with those Derrick Rose teams. I'm trying to think who else was in their path. I mean, that's the one that stands out to me. They also had to get past the Pacers with Frank Vogel. But you're right. I mean, Lance Stevenson was kind of the guy that was standing in LeBron's way. And you talk about a guy he's blowing in LeBron's ear.
Was there ever any doubt? My point is, you're right. But was there ever any doubt that the East was going LeBron, whatever team he was on?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Bucks, Toronto, Cleveland, Miami twice, Boston.
No, it was
Miami in 2006,
right?
Detroit in 2004. That's the last 20 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the champions have been on the East.
Yeah, so it's not exact. Yeah, so Matt, it's a 60-40 split, and if the East wins one more, it's 50-50. I mean, it's not exactly like the West has been dominating this thing.
It just seems to me like
that you've got a West Coast bias.
Yes, you do. You have a West Coast bias, and you have a Warriors bias.
Did you ever doubt that a LeBron-led team, just because it's in the East, that they were going to go to the finals? No. And yeah, I know they won the Mickey Mouse Championship. Yay, claps for LA in the shortened bubble season. But
you know what? Everyone had to play in those rules. I don't discount them.
In some ways, you could argue that winning the bubble championship was harder.
Yeah.
They didn't have to travel, but there was, that was in it.
But you didn't get to live.
Right. It was an entirely different set of circumstances. So
there was a play. Yeah, just to remind everyone, there was a player on the Sacramento Kings, Rashawn Holmes, who ordered food and walked out to the, by his room. He walked out to get it off the porch, and they had him sit for 5 days. Like, that's how bad. That's how little we knew, or how much we've been. Others would say how much we were lied to. How little we knew about what was going on. He walked out to pick up food on his porch. And he in the village.
Well,
in the village.
In fairness, the whole point of a bubble is to not let anything in from the outside.
Yeah.
And so it's a zero tolerance policy because you don't know. So
right.
if you had made an exception, then your bubble concept just blows up.
But that's kind of. But I'm almost making your point about. In some ways, you can argue it was tougher. Because you didn't really have a life.
Right,
You just were escorted in a certain way to an arena where nobody was, and you left that space, and you made it all the way back to your domicile, and that's the only place you could be.
But my point is, and I've been saying this for years, and apart from the 2020 Mickey Mouse Championship.
Wow, look at you.
I have said, okay, if LeBron goes to the Western Conference, he's not going to have as much success, and I was absolutely right about that. Because since he's been with the Lakers, I know won the championship in the bubble, but I don't think they would have had that not happened.
They also won the in-season tournament, my friend. So
my God! You know what? You are correct. I withdraw everything I said.
Yep,
Hang the banner.
exactly.
Let's have a parade. Let's have a parade in Los Angeles where shut down the schools, bring the kids out. Oh my goodness!
100 years ago, they had the FA Cup in England, and it was just starting, and it was just this tournament. Now, 100 years later, it's one of the biggest events going. They started the in-season tournament not for the three of us and Bisa. They started it for our grandkids. That's what they started it for. They're going to say, wow, the first ever winner was LeBron James, one of the Michael Jordan of his era. That'll be a cool thing.
And this is probably one of the most Chernobyl takes of all time from me. But in that vein, I'm going to say this. Everybody thinks that the Boston Celtics is this great historic franchise. And because they are one of the originals, they have to be. But all their championships, let's see, a big percentage of their championships came when there were 9 teams in the league, and they've won 1 championship over the past 4 decades.
I can make the argument that winning with 9 teams is harder than winning with 30 teams, because at 30 teams, it's a washed-out league. There are a lot of guys in the NBA today who wouldn't have made it in the NBA, when they were down to 21 teams back in the 70s and 80s. They wouldn't be in the league.
Do you think that's because there were no rules and you could punch someone in the face if you wanted to?
Their last win was in 2008. They lost in 2010, and then they lost again in 2022.
Matt, there's no rules now. You can throw things at the officials. I mean, come on.
That's a good point, Dave. That's a good point.
You can't do that. But my point is that 50% of their titles were won 40 years ago, and actually much more. Like the majority of it, 80, 90% were won 40 years ago and, 70 years ago. And it's just, if a team does that now, if a team wins 10 out of 12 championships, now, that's obviously more impressive. That's why when the Warriors were doing what they were doing, that's why it was so impressive, because you go to 5 straight finals. Shaq said if a coach takes his team to the NBA finals 4 straight times, or I think it was 5 straight times, he would kiss his feet. And then Kerr said, all right, well, I'll go get a pedicure. Let's go. It doesn't happen. And so the accomplishments that the Celtics accomplished 70 years ago, they would be it would be looked on as just the craziest thing ever if it happened now.
Well,
that's my point.
I can make I could and will make the case that there are more bad teams in the NBA now than there were then when the Boston Celtics were playing.
Exactly. Just because there were 9 teams.
Yeah.
There were all the good players were on. All the good players were playing on those 9 teams.
Yep. Everyone could play in those days. Now you got guys on rosters that are just filling roster spots, and that's just And again, you're taking different eras. And I know you like to use the Shaq model. Who'd you rather have, Bill Russell or Shaq? Honestly, I know a lot of basketball people that would take Bill Russell. I'll tell you what. How about Wilt Chamberlain? Would you take Wilt Chamberlain or would you take Shaq?
Well, I mean, you're taking Wilt. Are you kidding me? Wilt could shoot a little bit. Shaq couldn't shoot.
There's not a wrong answer in any of those comparisons. There isn't, because all those players were insanely dominant. You could take Wilt in a game where you needed to win and you might lose. And you could take Shaq in a game you needed to win and you might win or you might lose.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you take Babe Ruth or Shohei Ohtani? And would you rather have a Babe Ruth game-worn jersey or a Shohei Ohtani bat or whatever?
Is the Babe Ruth from the middle of May on a Tuesday when he's got some hot dog stains on it?
It's actually from 1932, a Babe Ruth jersey from 1932. It's
a good year, 32.
1932. You might recall that Babe Ruth was the player who called a shot, and there is some legend about this. Some people say it's an urban legend that he didn't, but I mean the story is that he pointed out
TV footage.
He pointed out there is footage. There's film footage of him pointing out, but there wasn't live TV back then, Matt. So
you know what the story is? What he was like the side story. One is he called a shot. The other, you know what the other side story is?
He was pointing to some blonde in the stands, or
That's not a bad story. You're close. He was pointing at the Cub dugout because the Cub dugout was razzing him. And I think they rolled out a lemon because it was a big round item, and they were making fun of Babe Ruth and how he was a big fat guy. and Babe Ruth was pointing at the dugout, yelling at them. And then everyone said he pointed it out, and then he did hit a home run in that at bat. So there are a couple of different stories there.
A home run to win the game, by the way, and they went on to win the World Series. So the jersey that he wore when he supposedly called this shot is going up for auction. Heritage Auctions is going to be putting it up, and they are saying that they expect it to fetch upwards of. Any guesses?
Boy, oh boy, it was in 32.
$1 million.
That's not a bad guess.
It's more than that. It's more than that.
Is it from the year? Is it
that's
$3.2 million?
pretty. Well, you're kind of close.
Really?
The year was 1932.
Yeah.
3.4.
$3.2 million.
You guys are not thinking in the right exponential sense at all. The year was 1932.
Uh-huh.
And they are
$19 million.
No, you're
$19,032,000.
You get closer.
$32 million.
$30 million. They're expecting it to go for over $30 million.
No way.
Stop.
No way.
Stop it. No, there is no piece of sports memorabilia that is worth $30 million.
The jersey last sold. So this is actually a better investment than buying a sports franchise, I think, exponentially. The jersey last sold in 2005 for $940,000. So if the
new 30x,
the new owner is going to make $30 million, so he's going to clear $29 million on his investment. That's a pretty good return.
How did he get the jersey? What's the story there?
He paid $940,000 for it with Great Flannel Auctions.
Well, no. How did they get it?
I don't know. But the question here is, and Coach, you brought it up on our call this morning, and I'd love to have people call into the show. This would be a good topic to hear from people at 959-CALL-LFG. What sports item? What memorabilia item, if you had some, if you were liquid and you had some money just sitting around and you're like, I'd like to really just have something super cool that nobody else can have that's a one-of-one, like what sports memorabilia item would you want to own?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And you can tweet us at LFG Radio Show. You can call us 959-CALL-LFG, or you can text the show. I put out to you, and I haven't really, I haven't thought of anything else that I think is better. Not that I'm a huge hockey fan, but it's just such a huge pivotal moment in the history of the United States and in the history of the Olympics. Like the game-winning puck and stick that was used to score the goal. I believe it was Mike Eruzione, right?
Did he score the goal?
Who scored the goal for the Miracle on Ice that put the U.S. ahead?
Boy, I just remember Eruzione was the captain and he called everyone on stage. Well, you continue to tell it. I'll look it up.
Yeah, so I think that would be amazing to have in a case, right? It was Eruzione. Eruzione scored the winning goal halfway through the third period.
And that was not in the gold medal game, though, right? That was in the game preceding the gold medal game.
That was the gold medal. You're right. That's the gold medal game.
Yeah.
That's the gold medal game. Yes.
Yeah, Team USA beat the Soviet Union
in the semis.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what the goal was that went ahead for Team USA then in the semis, because I typed in gold medal. USA game-winning goal, Miracle on Ice. It says Eruzione scored the winning goal halfway through the third period. Goalie Jim Craig made the one-goal lead stand up, making numerous big saves down the stretch in a game where the Soviets outshot the Americans 39-16. 39-16, they outshot the U.S.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
Jim Craig stood on his head.
Yeah.
I have an answer for you, Dave.
What would you like, Matt? What would you like if I could make your sports memorabilia dreams come true? What would you like?
I would like the boxing gloves that were worn for the Ollie Liston 2 fight in Miami in 1965.
That is pretty obscure. How did you come up with that?
No, it's not. That's one of the most famous. That's one of the most famous boxing matches, and that's the Phantom Punch, man. That is one of the most iconic pictures of all time, with Ali standing over Liston, and those gloves would be probably my most prized possession if I ever were able to get those. I do have a pair of Muhammad Ali autographed boxing gloves, though. I do have a pair, and those are obviously.
Did you ever meet Ali? Did you ever meet him?
No, I didn't. My dad's friend did a number of times, and that's how he got those gloves. And he is a memorabilia dealer, and he gave them.
Oh wow!
Gave them to us. I did meet Joe Frazier one time. That was pretty cool. Another piece of memorabilia that I would like would be something from the Thrilla in Manila. That would be really cool. I'm really into historical boxing. I don't like boxing now, but I really think that the golden era of boxing is back then, and yeah, I mean I think plus boxing is more of it's obviously the most individualistic sport, and it's very much. It meant something back then. You know, being a world champion meant something back then.
In fact, recently we had a heavyweight fight over the weekend. Did anyone know that? Did anyone even know
Tyson
that
Fury went down. Down goes Fury.
Yep. And when I was a kid, when there was a heavyweight bout that was coming up, everyone knew it. Everyone talked about it. Everyone found a way to watch it. And there wasn't as much, a lot of those things were, Howard Cosell was on the call.
Right.
And it's on ABC. It wasn't pay-per-view,
Yeah.
So.
And something with that, I've read Howard Cosell's books and studied a lot about him. And actually, Marvis Frazier, Joe's son, does a spot-on impression of Howard, and I was standing in Joe's ring that he trained in Philadelphia, where he trained for the fights with Ali, and Marvis was talking to me and told me all about it, and told me about stories, sitting there at ringside for, I think he went to the second, or no, he did go to the Thrilla in Manila. They wouldn't let him go to Madison Square Garden for the first fight because of the death threats that he was getting, that the family was getting. And just to have a window into this crazy world from the horse's mouth, from his son, and then from him, Joe told me, actually, he said that it wasn't, he didn't look at it as this great, big, incredible battle. I mean, he thought it was going to be an easy win for him, which, I mean, you can't really fault the guy for having confidence. But, yeah, I mean, it was just amazing to hear that somebody, and he was the only person to beat Ali in his prime, in my opinion. The other people that beat Ali, they weren't at the right times. But, that's just me.
Hey, Coz, do you want to wait till you want to break and then come back and tell us what your memorabilia dream would be? All right, and we do want to work you in. If you hit us up on the phone lines, 959 call LFG. We're happy to get some calls in here on this Tuesday as we talk about great sports memorabilia that you may or may not have, or that you would like to have in your collection. The Tuesday edition of LFG continues after this quick timeout.
Almond bloods, that chill divine.
You know what I'm sick and tired of, Harry? I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life.
What am I supposed to do? Just go about my life like everything is fine?
That's exactly what you should do.
Yes, go skiing, go to parties, act normally.
I'm sick and tired of being a nobody.
Don't you see, honey, we can't let on that anything's wrong. If the press or the authorities get wind of this, kidnappers may panic.
I'm sick and tired of having nobody.
So where are you headed?
Aspen.
What do you think the chances are of a guy like me and a girl like you ending up together?
Not good.
ever leave? No! Open it up!
She is the love of my life!
You're a dead man!
I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.
I'm Cash Saroy, and this is the Collectible Network, the world's first streaming network devoted to sports cards and collectible content of all kinds.
You're live on the Collectible Network.
Have you ever been in a sports card break? Try it. It's easy. Win an online auction for your team, then watch our live stream on Twitch or YouTube, and all of the cards from the team you won get shipped to you the next day.
You're amazing.
Thank you for subscribing.
Follow the Collectible Network on social media right now. The Collectible Network, where you are, we are. This is One of One.
Hour 2 of LFG, the Tuesday edition. Dave Benz, Jim Kozamore, Matt Feller, our producer, Bisa, our associate producer. Glad to have you on board on this Tuesday. So, Koz, before the break, we were talking about items that we would like to have in our memorabilia collection, and you do have some memorabilia back behind you.
Yes.
But
first two, they must be worth something. I should put them up for sale. They are the first two WNBA championship team, all-team autographed basketballs in the WNBA's history. So.
Yeah, I have.
Pay up, everybody.
Give
me the million.
I have a 1978 World Series game ball. I don't think it was game used, but I think it was like one of those ones they put out that you could buy. And I don't know why I have it or have really any recollection of how it came into my life. I just know I've had it for a long time, and I just think it's a cool thing to have. 78 Series, Yankees, Dodgers.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that is cool. I've got a Bobby Hull autographed Chicago Blackhawks puck. That's pretty cool because I grew up really liking number 9. The Golden Jet is what he was called. I loved watching him play.
So what don't you have that you would love to have if you had an unlimited budget and could buy any sports memorabilia item ever?
I will tell you one that I do have. Before I give you that, I will tell you one I do have that possibly a young Matt Fowler would like. It is, do you remember the poster with Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell? I believe they were called the Pacific Sock Exchange.
Yes, the Pacific Sock Exchange, yeah.
Do you remember that? When they're standing there they're in suits in a kind of a makeshift, the Pacific Stock Exchange used to be a thing, and they were standing in suits in the stock exchange with their baseball bats. I happen to have one of only, I think, 50 personally autographed photos of that. And I think it's signed by both Kevin Mitchell and Will Clark.
There's a copy of that poster in the whatever the VIP club is called now. That's in the outfield out at Oracle Park. They've got that
really
there. Yeah.
It used to be the Gotham Club.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's still called the Gotham Club. Yeah.
That's a cool place.
Yeah.
I've eaten there before games before. It's a really cool place. It's
Man,
inside
you have
the
the life.
scoreboard.
Because NBC Sports Bay Area had their Christmas party there last year, and I got invited to that.
Did you get one of these special baseball-shaped ice cubes in your cocktail?
I believe I did. Yes, I did.
Yes. I got one also.
Yeah, and Emily came across the pond for that one as well. Emily was with me at that event, so that was pretty cool.
Were you guys at all assaulted or robbed while you were there?
No, not assaulted.
Someone
or robbed.
was. There was an NBC Sports party that happened there where someone's car was it was somehow jacked up. Someone broke in it and stole stuff.
Somebody had gotten word that Coz that you had those WNBA balls in the car and they were looking for them.
Hey, I wonder if they are worth anything. It's the first two champions.
They're worth something to somebody.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
You know what the sad thing is that there's one piece of memorabilia that does not exist anymore and will never exist ever in the future, and it's very sad. The memento of being able to keep your ticket.
Oh, I
your
love
ticket
that.
stub.
Yeah, I still have my 1989 Cubs at Giants National League Championship Series ticket stub when I was at the game at Candlestick. I still have one of the two left. My dad and I went, and I have one of those two ticket stubs.
I save ticket stubs for everything, and because of Tickscape, a lot of my collection of ticket stubs are not far from me at this exact moment in time, because I
Awesome.
used them for some of the artwork on some of the Tickscape stuff. So yeah, ticket stubs are cool. But Coz,
Yes.
would you like to have a ticket stub? What would you like to have? You've yet to give us an answer to this question.
You know what? This is kind of unusual. I'm not an enormous fan of the guy. I'm not an anti the guy. He was truly one of the greatest and certainly the greatest of his era. But do you remember the iconic Michael Jordan shot over Brian Russell when he finishes with the follow through?
Yep.
I don't understand why people don't do this. Everybody wants the ball of something or his shoes of something. I want the net and rim from the shot he made on that end of the court. I want that combination of rim and net that I can have, because that's the last shot he ever took. That's the last thing it ever touched right there, and that's what I want to keep. Nobody ever wants to keep the netting. I always think that would be a cool thing to have.
So yeah, well, how about the backboard? What if you could buy the whole thing, the
whole
stanchion, the
stanchion, the
backboard,
whole thing?
and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but the net, because wasn't it all net? I think
Yeah,
the
it was
net
all
would
net.
be
It was
key.
all net.
It was absolutely all net. And you know
Yeah.
what? What would have happened? Let me ask you this. What would have happened if Michael Jordan either had somebody, or maybe he did it himself? What would have happened if he went out after that? If he walked out onto the court after the game, after everybody's left, and just gets a pair of scissors and cuts the net down himself?
Well, I mean, I don't know. NBA teams, somebody must take the nets when you win a championship. You don't see the players go up and cut them down like you do with college basketball, but I would bet there's some staffers for the team that go take the nets and they put them into a trophy case. That's because, I mean, that's a thing at every level of basketball. So I would think they've done that in the NBA as well.
I would think that somebody like Raymond Ritter would know that. Maybe we should ask him.
Because would you? So you'd rather have that net than I was thinking? And I asked you this, but you got up to go take a quick walk. I asked you this off the air. Would you rather have that, or would you have? I mean, I think you could make a case to have the one for when he hit the shot over Craig Elo, because that kind of like launched things, didn't it? I mean, or
That
even
was
go
the one.
or go back even further and the net from the net or the ball or whatever from the one when he hit the college national championship shot.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. That's that is, you know, it's funny. I was listening to a Chicago sports radio show, and they were talking about a team needing or was it you that I was talking to? The Michael Jordan shot over Elo moment.
Yeah.
A team, you know, in order to, were you the one I was talking about?
Yeah, and I
It
said
was-
Ant needs that. I
That
said
was
Ant needs
yesterday.
that.
That was literally yesterday.
Boy, it feels like it was like 4 years ago, because I'm famished right now. I've got no food in my system, no fuel or anything. So you know what? Maybe that's a good one. Maybe that one's pretty cool, and that did start the moment for the Chicago Bulls and for Michael Jeffrey Jordan. If you're going to take one, though, wouldn't you take his North Carolina make in the championship game?
I mean,
that tipped it off?
that's a pretty good one. I typed in, just for the heck of it, I typed in the the greatest moments in sports and all time in history. You know what would be pretty good would be the baton that was used in the 1936 Olympics with Jesse Owens winning in front of Adolf Hitler. That'd be pretty good.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah.
That something from Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game would be good. And then the one that I thought would be kind of funny. Would you like to have a hit from the same sheet of acid that Doc Ellis took before he pitched his perfect game?
No.
That one in the memorabilia case.
No.
I mean, hey, listen. I didn't get the opportunity to, but I have met Snoop Dogg, and if Snoop Dogg offered to blaze it up with me, you better believe I don't care if the cop's sitting there. You better believe I'm doing that. Like that is.
Well, you got no worries in California.
Well, I'm saying regardless. There's for some people that maybe somebody's a big Doc Ellis fan. I don't know. I mean,
who has the football for the catch? Dwight Clark must have kept that, right?
That's a great one. That's a really. Do you think it's on display at the 49er Hall of Fame down in Santa Clara?
I don't know.
Might be in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but they swap things out. Different halls of fame, they swap those things out. And I could see if you're the 49ers, especially when it opened. Remember when they first opened up the worst billion-dollar stadium in the National Football League, I would say, that they had their Hall of Fame. Dave, were you doing shows from there?
I never
Didn't you do, or were you gone already by the time they had the new
I was
stadium?
still, they were still Candlestick when I was doing the 49ers pre and post with Dwight Clark. So those were those were some good days. That was because the last game that I worked was the NFC Championship game when they lost to the Giants, a game that Kyle Anderson, I believe it was, for two fumbled punts. Two fumbled punts. The Giants.
No, it was Kyle Williams.
Oh, Kyle Williams. Yes, Kyle Williams, not Kyle Anderson. Yes.
And his father, who's his father?
His father was the GM for the White Sox.
You're right. Very good.
So yeah, that was not a good day. The 49ers lost that game on special teams. Otherwise, they'd probably go to the Super Bowl.
What is it with 49ers historically losing games because of fumbled punts? What is it?
What's the other one?
Game about 3 months ago.
Gosh, I don't even remember them.
The Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
The punt.
The Super Bowl 3 months ago. I don't remember who it was, but if the 49ers don't muff that punt, the Chiefs don't get it, they don't score, and more than likely, not 100%, but more than likely, the 49ers win that Super Bowl.
Well, if you had a quarterback who could complete an 8-yard pass to a wide open receiver for a first down, throw the ball 8 yards with no pressure.
If you had an offensive coordinator and a coach that wasn't an idiot and decided to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey, then we'd be having
He
the
threw
same
it to
conversation.
McCaffrey. He short hopped it to McCaffrey. That's what your $50 million will get you.
You got two chances to get 6 feet, and you give it to the best running back in the league. I will put my house on that he's going to get 6 feet in 2 plays.
All right. Well, they didn't. So
yeah. That's Kyle Shanahan coming through. Kyle's a hell of a coach, but man, he's got a monkey on his back in some big moments. There's no question about that.
I think this is the year that monkey. You know what? Here's what you want. You know what? That's the question. What future memorabilia do you want? Is it LeBron's last game ball or last game shoes? Is it Steph's? Is it? I think. This is my opinion, is that I think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl next year. And that's the monkey off the back moment. That's the ball you want, is the 49er ball.
Wait a minute. This is
code.
Shocking news to me that you just predicted the 49ers to win the Super Bowl next year. Like, what is what is going on in Tennessee today?
Well, they have had no significant losses of personnel on their roster, and they're still better than everyone else out there. Everyone else who might be in their way, like the Lions, I don't know if the Lions are better played a game. The Niners are at least as good as they were because they don't have significant losses unless you count. Was Armstead even there last year?
Yeah, Armstead was there.
Yeah, Armstead. Who?
Eric
Sacramento
Armstead.
guy.
Eric
Elk
Armstead.
Grove guy. He's gone, but he was part of a rotation of guys, wasn't he? He wasn't the main guy. I mean, Bosa's the main guy.
Well, yeah. Well, but Armstead was pretty good.
There's no question.
So that's.
I just think offensively they are gonna score on teams. The only game I was looking at the schedule today. The game that's going to be really pivotal for them is the game they have to play. I believe it's in Buffalo after Buffalo's bye week. So Buffalo gets 2 weeks to prepare for the 49ers, and that'll be a good test for them because I think even though Buffalo has lost a lot of guys. They're going to be a talented team. So it's I do think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC right now.
Yeah, but that game's not going to matter if the 49ers go 15-2 or 14-3.
Yeah, see, look at that. You know what? And it could happen, you know?
I mean,
Well, yeah, we need to go through it. We need to go through the schedules at some point and do the one-loss thing, so we can do that on a future installment. But yeah, the future memorabilia. So you think you want a 49ers something for this year? Maybe a pair of Christian McCaffrey cleats. Maybe maybe
Brock Purdy. Maybe a Brock. What would I want from Brock Purdy? What does he have that I would want?
His paycheck in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when he gets the Baker Mayfield deal.
Yeah, no, not even for a whole year. Give me his paycheck for a game, and I'll be good.
No, I said in a year. His paycheck in a year. One paycheck in a year is going to be pretty good. Even if he doesn't get the $40 million a year, he's still. There's no question he's getting tens of millions of dollars. Whatever multiple of that comes out to be.
Whether it's 20 or 50, he's going to get multiples of 10.
He's going to get multiples of 10, and that's a good place to be.
If he doesn't get at least 40, there's a problem.
He's not going to get 40. I will say this though.
40.
I will tell you this. If they win the Super Bowl, he'll get his 40, if not 50. They'll have to pay him. But if they lose again, he ain't getting 40.
No,
I
agree.
Getting 40.
I agree with that. Dave, I want the sneakers from Steph Curry's last game because we are a couple years away, in my opinion, from that happening. I mean, I think Steph is probably going to be one of those players that hangs it up when he still has some juice in the tank. And because how old is he right now? 35? So I don't think he's going to go to Charlotte or some other team and, for a year. I don't think he's going to do that. But I do know I will be at his last game, whatever it is.
What if it's a road game?
I'll be at his last.
I don't think the league will do that. I don't think the league will do that to him. I think the league will work with him to say what's your last
but what
game?
if they make the playoffs and his last game is on the road?
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
No, that is different, but
that's Dr. J. That was Julius Erving. His final game was in Milwaukee, I think at the Mecca against the Bucks. He lost to the Bucks and he walked off the floor.
I will be at whatever his last home game is. I'll do my best to make whatever schedule, whatever is deemed to be most likely his last home game, I will be there for that.
How are you going to get tickets to that bad boy? That will be, you know what? What would be a higher price ticket? Steph's last home game or the top price for the last Warriors NBA championship, which was 2 years ago? I'd have to go back and find out what that ticket
based
price
upon
was.
inflation alone, it'll be Steph's last home game.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to answer your first question, Jim, we have season tickets, so that's how I'm going to get tickets to that one.
Oh wow! Look at you.
But
how many games a year do you go to?
Oh, probably 3. I mean, my parents split them with our partners, and so they have a whole system with that. But we generally go to a couple of games a year, and then if they make playoffs, we'll go to one. We'll go to one game. I think in 2022 we went to game 2 of the finals, and then we went to all the finals except for 1 year we didn't go. And when I say all, I mean one game from each series of the finals. Saw Kevin Durant and the Dubs win it in Game 5 in 2017. That was my choice to go to that game. But before the series ended up the way it was, I said we're gonna win it in 5 games. And so that was really cool to be able to actually see him win the championship. But I will stop talking about the Warriors because you guys don't like that.
What about a Patrick Mahomes last touchdown pass when it's all said and done for him?
That's going to be a ways away.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, how about the first playoff series game winner for Anthony Edwards whenever that comes? Because I think at some point
you're really on the Ant bandwagon.
Well, I mean,
by the way, that reminds me, Coach, the one memorabilia item that I have, that could, I may have mentioned this before, that could actually end up being something. It's not there yet. So Ant's rookie year, the Timberwolves, you know how like a lot of times these teams, they'll send out little promo kits to the voters to try to encourage them to, hey, vote for our guy. So Anthony Edwards' rookie year, he did not win Rookie of the Year because it went to LaMelo Ball. And LaMelo had a fine year that year, but LaMelo won the Rookie of the Year because he had way more hype coming into the NBA than Ant did. And if you look at the numbers from that season, Ant probably deserved it, but Ant wasn't so precipitously better that he was able to overcome the hype machine for LaMelo. So LaMelo won it. And the Timberwolves put out that year, it's not amazing. That's the only thing that makes it like, I don't know how valuable it really could be. But if Ant goes on to have, to win an MVP or two and win a couple of championships and have a Hall of Fame career, and I'm not saying he's going to. He very well, that's a hard thing to do. That's not a guarantee. But if he goes on to do that, I did save the Timberwolves that season. They put out for Ant's Rookie of the Year campaign, they put out it's basically a mock-up of the Staples Easy button. Like they were trying to say, this is an easy decision, vote Ant for Rookie of the Year. It was not great. It was not well thought out. They could have done so many other things that would have been better. But partially because of that, I'd be willing to bet, first of all, they only probably make 100 of those, right? Because they're sending them to the voters. And they gave me one because I was the team broadcaster, even though I didn't have a vote. And out of the 100 that were probably manufactured, how many people actually saved them? So I'd be willing to bet that, probably out of the 100 that were made, there's probably less than 20 of them still kicking around. So if Ant goes on to have this amazing career, I may have something there.
Did he autograph yours?
No, but that's not, it's not unthinkable that I could at some point maybe find a way to make that happen.
You could definitely do that.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this. Let me get a Chernobyl take for Ant for the NBA. So okay, right now, obviously, Ant has never. I love that sounder. I love that so much.
That's a Chernobyl take.
Ant, obviously, at this point, he's never made a finals, never won a championship, so his slate is clean and unblemished. Some would say that had they lost Game 7, there would be a little bit of a blemish there because the Wolves should have won that series.
Wait, hold on. It was the Coach. We made it this far into the show. That's unbelievable. We're over an hour in before we got the Timberwolves. Yes,
hilarious.
Oh man. Anyway, so some would argue that there would have been a blemish on his record had they lost, but they didn't. So it's unblemished at this point. If he goes on to have a Hall of Fame career, and if Minnesota has a dynasty, and if Ant wins 3-4 titles while putting up crazy numbers, is he better than LeBron James?
Oh my God, dude. Are you seriously asking that question right now? I mean, if some 2-year-old who's picking up basketball gets put in the right setting with the right coach and has the right athletic ability and goes to the right high school.
Hang on. No. Ant is currently being compared to Michael Jordan.
Okay, listen. I don't think anybody. No. Even I have not compared him to Michael Jordan. I have said he looks a lot like a young MJ.
Other people have compared him to Michael Jordan. Other people have.
Well, those people are idiots. Okay? Does he carry himself in a way and have some moves that kind of make you think, wow, he looks like a young MJ? I think that's fair to say. To compare him to MJ?
People have contorted themselves into pretzels trying to compare LeBron to Jordan despite his shitty finals record. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about trying to compare LeBron to Jordan. I thought you were talking about...
No. I know I'm comparing Ant to LeBron.
Okay. Listen, Ant has so far to go.
I know.
No, it's crazy. Listen, let's let Ant be Ant, man. He's
right, but LeBron came into the league with the tattoo, the chosen one, and all this. From the get-go, everybody was trying to compare him to Jordan, and when he lost those finals and when he quit in 2011, everybody was still trying to compare him to Jordan. I said it was stupid. So why can't we compare Ant to LeBron?
Well, Ant is being... Ant doesn't look like a young LeBron. Ant looks like a young MJ, first of all. But both LeBron and MJ have accomplished like in an entire universe more of things in the NBA than Ant has. And I'm not saying Ant can't, but he's so far removed. I mean, Jordan and LeBron are they're the Voyager spacecrafts, and they're out in interstellar space right now. And Ant is just
Should Kobe
kind of
be in there?
Ant's
Should
sitting
Kobe
on the
be in
launch
that
pad.
discussion?
Yeah,
absolutely, Kobe. By the way, Kobe, in my opinion, it should be Jordan. It should be Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, is what and there is no comparison in my opinion, none.
All right.
Kobe. I think did Kobe lose 2 finals? Kobe lost 2.
Listen,
right?
I am not a LeBron fan, but I do respect LeBron, what he's done in his game, and the fact that he's playing at such a high level at so late in his career, and to go to win a championship in 3 different cities, like even though there's a lot of baggage associated with that,
destroying those 3 cities.
Okay,
yeah.
Matt, there's a lot of baggage associated with it. I'm not going to deny any of that, but he went to 3 different cities and won titles. That is not easy to do. He's the all-time scoring champ of the league. He was putting up 30-something a night at age 39. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to say that LeBron's the greatest of all time, but, like, give the guy some respect, man. And I mean,
I am.
What Kobe did was amazing, but Kobe also had Shaq for a lot of that.
Why? No. Why isn't? See, this is straight disrespect, not from you, but this is straight disrespect to Kobe from everybody when they're like, "Oh, LeBron Jordan." Why don't we compare Kobe to Jordan? Kobe is more of a Jordan than LeBron ever was. I mean, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe has more championships than LeBron. Kobe has he's got 5 to Jordan's 6. And he's got 2 losses in the finals to LeBron's 4, or 3 or 4. I'm sorry, 6.
Yeah,
6
he's
losses,
got a lot of
4
losses.
wins. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Kobe's got 2 losses to LeBron's 6. I mean, why is this narrative there about LeBron and Jordan? Why isn't it Jordan Kobe?
I think it's because LeBron is still on the court, and because we get to see him, that keeps it fresh in our mind. I think you are structurally correct in your argument. The discussion should be Jordan and Kobe. Jordan will win that discussion, but it should be that way. But we need someone currently active to compare, and LeBron is that guy. LeBron is the Michael of his generation. All right? And this is, hey, you want I don't know if it's Chernobyl level, but you want a hot take? Young kids coming into the game today, they think of Michael Jordan as a shoe guy. Hey, that's the guy they named the shoe after. How many kids know what Michael Jordan did? Honestly,
not a lot.
We're really
you're right.
far removed from when Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years.
It's been 30 years.
Well, it's been 20 years since he hung it up. I mean, what was his last year? 03? Was last year with the Wizards?
When he was with Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, 03.
Wow, he played in 03 with Washington?
Yeah.
When was his last championship with the Bulls? 98?
98. Yeah, June of 98.
And so that's really Michael Jordan. Like, we could talk about the Washington experiment, but that's nothing. Even though he came back, didn't he drop a double nickel on somebody once?
He did at the Garden. And he also did get the Wizards to the playoffs.
So we're coming up on 26 years now since that championship.
That's that's a quarter century, man. You're a quarter century away from it.
There are people who've gone and served overseas and have come back from 2 tours of duty who weren't even born when that happened.
Yeah.
So that's how long ago that is.
Did you have to walk to school 3 miles in the snow?
Uphill both ways.
Yep.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah, it was definitely uphill both ways. You never you never heard that one, Matty. All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, we'll get into a Trivia Tuesday with Bisa. We have a programming announcement to discuss. And all that ahead. We still can sneak in a call, by the way, if you want. 959 call LFG.
Are we going to discuss the announcement, or what are we going to do with this?
I mean, I guess we're just going to talk about it, yeah.
We're just going to have a discussion.
We're just going to have a discussion, I guess.
Yeah. And then we'll make the announcement later, but we're going to have the discussion on air.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to just...
That's good. I like it.
That's how we do it.
That's a win. That's a win.
All right, back after this timeout.
I got to go get some liquid because
You know what I'm sick and tired of, Harry? I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life.
What am I supposed to do? Just go about my life like everything is fine?
That's exactly what you should do.
Yes, go skiing, go to parties, act normally.
I'm sick and tired of being a nobody.
Don't you see, honey, we can't let on that anything's wrong. If the press or the authorities get wind of this, kidnappers may panic.
I'm sick and tired of having nobody.
So where are you headed?
Aspen.
What do you think the chances are of a guy like me and a girl like you ending up together?
Not good. Who are these sick people?
Remember me? No! Open it up! She is the love of my life! You're a dead man!
I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.
It's the bottom of the hour, or close enough. Time for your Tickscape Studios Sports Update with Matt Fowler.
The Denver Broncos will have to wait to see how much linebacker Drew Sanders has improved from his rookie season in 2023 because the third-round pick a year ago will now miss at least most of the 2024 season. He suffered a torn Achilles early on in the team's offseason program in mid-April, as first reported by 9 News in Denver. Sanders had surgery to repair the torn tendon, and his recovery time is expected to be between 6 and 9 months. For all the latest news, updates, hot takes, tune in to LFG with Dave Benz, Jim Kozimor, associate producer Bisa, and myself, Matt Fowler. Now back to a Tuesday edition of LFG.
Tuesday edition rolling on. It is a Trivia Tuesday. We will bring Bisa into the mix here in just a couple of minutes, and we will see what she stumps us with today. So I did, while we were in the break, I just kind of perused a couple of headlines, and I found something kind of interesting involving Bryce Harper that I'm going to get to here in a moment, waiting for Coase to come back from wherever whatever parts he has walked off to. Coase's timing is normally fantastic.
Yeah, you know, it must be nice to just be able to get up and just leave, just like whenever you feel like it. You know, it just must be great.
Yeah.
Wish I could do that.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, but yeah, it's you know what? That's called being the producer of the show, Matt.
Yeah. Well.
How many clips do you have on your soundboard?
Bitch, stay in this ballgame.
I mean, I've got. I don't even use half the clips. I got.
No way.
There's Jack Black for you. I got. Let's see, Adam Sandler. Let's see. I've got the bowling pins.
Oh, well, better luck next year.
Got a little LeBron James. Yeah, so I got a bunch of them here. I got the Mike.
Stop it. Get some help.
I never use that one. I forget I have that one. That's a good one for cars.
Stop it. Get some help.
There's Michael Jordan. Speaking of getting help, how about this?
Actually, hang on. Before you say anything.
Yeah, okay. You love that one. You love anything with WWE. Speaking of getting help, a kid in the Philadelphia area by the name of Jake Portella wanted to ask a girl to his prom. But
That's nice.
He wasn't sure that she would say yes. Her name was Julia. This kid just so happened to live in the same neighborhood as Bryce Harper. So he walked and knocked on Bryce Harper's door and said, yeah, I live down the street from you, and I'm sorry to bother you, but I've got a girl that I want to ask to go to the prom, and she also lives in the neighborhood, and I'm wondering if maybe you could help me get her to commit to going to the prom with me. And they got it on video. I've not watched this yet, but I don't know how good the audio is. But here's what ensued in this Philadelphia suburb where Bryce Harper lives.
Hi, Julia. I'm going to prom. How's it going? Jake wants to ask you to prom, so I thought I'd help him out. You want to go to prom with him? So you going to prom with him? Yes. Awesome. There you go.
Yeah, of course. Harper says, "Will you go to prom with him?" She says yes, and she hugs Harper, and then finally she turns around and hugs the kid. But that's good aggressiveness by that kid.
Well, here's the thing. The kid was afraid to talk to the girl, but he was okay with going up to a superstar's house and randomly knocking on the door.
Yeah, that is kind of insane.
Yeah. And now you've set the bar kind of high, by the way, for what's to be expected on the prom date. How do you one up that? Does Rocky show up as your driver?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh my goodness.
Asking, man, that takes me back, man. Asking girls to prom, man, that was some serious business, man. That was tough to do. I mean, I think
it was tough to do. It was tough. Like your whole life, it's tough to ask her. Now, I don't think Dave is. Dave looked like the kind that you just walk up and it would be, like if she wasn't interested, he'd just move on to the next one. Whereas I would like ruminate over it for a month and a half. Oh, she didn't want to go out with me.
No, I mean, I have now. Disclaimer for Emily watching the show. In Dave's single days, before Dave was ever tied down to anybody, I remember Dave and I went out. There was literally a line around the block of chicks that just wanted to meet Dave.
Oh yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Let's not exaggerate. That is so not true.
No, but I'm assuming you have a harder or an easier time talking to women than most people do.
Not when I was in high school, man. My junior prom and senior ball, both of my dates for those events were both I went as friends. I was kind of socially awkward on that front through high school.
My first date was the girl had told people she wanted me to ask her, and I knew she was going to say yes, and yet I still could barely stammer out the words to, would you go to, I think it was homecoming was our first date. Would you go to homecoming with me? It was that painful for me.
I can remember, Coach, one of my early being in high school around my son's age. I got the phone number of a girl that I liked, and I was so nervous to call her. I wrote out questions.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there.
No,
that's a good one.
It's a real thing. When I went to my I went to prom twice. I didn't go to my senior prom. Went to prom as a sophomore. I took 2 girls with me, and then
he just drops that in. Look at that. That's the humble brag.
2 girls
of the day. Our humble brag of the day from Matt Fowler.
Some people are legends and some people aren't. Anyway, but the third or the my junior year, the third year was I was at a concert with my friend Jake, and we saw these two girls that were standing there, and we thought they were really cute. And Jake looks at one of them and says, "I'm gonna take her to prom," and I was like, "Bullshit! I'm gonna take her to prom." And so I ended up taking the one that I wanted. Jake ended up taking the one that he wanted, and it actually turned out I had the.
You swapped, right? You swapped mid date.
No.
Okay.
What happened was, because you obviously want the prom and everything to go the best it possibly can. You want to pull out all the stops, right? So what happened was, I was trying to figure out what's the limo situation, because you got to get a limo for. Oh yeah, you got to get a limo for prom.
No, we did not have a limo.
Well, no, wait. Did your daughters have a limo going to prom?
No.
No.
Oh.
Usually
It's different nowadays. Kids don't go on dates; they go in groups.
Yeah, I shared a limo with like 3 other couples for junior prom, and senior ball I drove my dad's car.
Yeah. So
I drove my dad's car. I thought I was fancy driving my dad's
I drove
cool
the Chevy
Yep.
Cavalier or Celebrity, whatever the hell it was. Yeah, that's what I drove.
That was cool.
I was big time.
So I was trying to figure it out, and it turned out that, rewind a year earlier, when my family and I went to Europe, we were supposed to have a limo take us to the airport.
Man, there's more bragging in this story.
Right.
Before the
I went to
punchline of the
Europe,
story.
2 dates, limos.
Yeah. Hang on. So we were going to Europe a year earlier, and a limo was supposed to show up, take us to the airport at like 5 a.m. The limo never showed up. Okay.
Wow.
We had to get in the car and drive, and I mean, when you arrange something, right? And so you're expecting.
Yes.
So anyway, I called the same limo company a year later for my prom, and the manager answered, and I told him what the story was, how they totally screwed up a year earlier and didn't pick us up to go to Europe. So guess who got a stretch limo for a Hummer limo for like $300 for the whole night for just me and just my date. It was like a limo for like 20 people, and it was just us, and it was for like $300, which for like 10 hours, so $30 an hour. That's pretty good.
All right, let's transition quick, because we got to get to Trivia Tuesday. We need to talk about the programming for the rest of the week, and then but Matt, so we're not going to have a show the rest of this week because I'm traveling, and guys, we've talked about this privately. We're gonna cut back the show to a day a week starting next week. And that's and hopefully with the intention of maybe bringing it back to a daily show at some point there, as some of the people who have followed the show from the beginning know that we started with the Tony Bruno Sports Network, which you can see still in the background of me and Matt on our backdrops, and there was some politics that got involved, and we'll just leave it at that. And there ended up being a splintering of, and I use politics not in the
I was going to say literal
that caused you to laugh, but yes, there were literally
absolutely literal.
Yes, there were literal politics that got involved with the office politics of the show and the network, and so that's why we haven't been on TBSN, and nobody's been on TBSN for quite a while now. And so there are some things in the work with a new company called Riptide Media, and there is a possibility, I'd say a decent possibility, that we end up at some point being affiliated with Riptide Media, and we'll see how that plays out. But in the meantime, we're going to cut back on doing the show because basically, none of us got into this really to sell or market the show. Our strengths, Coz, are hosting a show and putting on good content, and Matt's been producing the show, and it's not really our strength. So listen, if somebody out there wants to hit us up and say, hey, we love the show and we want to market it and sell it, we're all ears. But until we can see something significant with Riptide, we're going to keep doing this because we like it, but we're going to cut it back to a day a week and go from there. And that's kind of I don't know if you guys want to say anything about that, but, I want to get him being Matt's bookie in, which is why I'm setting it up here. But I don't know what you guys want to say about all that.
I want to say that you said it well. That's what you said. And we are excited. We love doing the show. That's the biggest thing for us is we love doing the show. It might it's a really fun thing to do, and it gets in your system, and you really love doing it. But we have to make prudent decisions that aren't easy, and so for now, it's probably best that we just do what we can when we can and make it as good as we can until we can see a different pathway.
Exactly.
Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's a lot that all you folks that listen and watch the live streams, there's a lot that you don't see that goes into the prep of this show, and it's a lot, and it's also it's a lot for what we do to then it not translate sometimes into some financial goals. So we have to take a step back. But Dave, you said it well, and I think that we will be back, but. We enjoy providing good content for everybody, and we hope that we can do that in the future.
Do we have an idea of the one day of the week that we're going to schedule, or will it be a floating day? And how long will the show be? Do we have an idea what will go on there?
I think all of that is TBD for us to still discuss.
It's going to be 8 hours long. And it's gonna
yeah. I mean, I kind of still like this time slot, and it's, do we want to, are we going to be beholden to a day? Are we going to say we're going to do it every Wednesday? Are we going to,
I think we should be beholden to a day because for the people that want to watch us, if we're doing it on Monday one day or 1 week and then Wednesday the next week and then Friday the next, there does, I think, need to be consistency.
This might help us. Are we going to post it once we do it?
Well, I think we'll do it live like we do, and then it will live on. So
right, and then but we post things now, right?
Oh yeah,
like
we post things.
You mean,
yeah.
You mean
we'll announce it.
You mean in advance? Yeah.
Yeah. So keep all the LFG channels open, and we will definitely let you know when we're gonna have a show. And I don't know if it's gonna be every Wednesday, every Thursday, whatever day it's gonna be. And we'll continue to have some of our great segments. And if we're only doing one day a week, then maybe depending on what we have content-wise, maybe there's a day where we do both a Celebrating MMA and a mailbag, or whatever. Because
maybe we do a 3-hour version once a week.
Yeah, that's an entire.
That wasn't very confident. Yeah.
No, that's entirely possible.
High pitch. Yeah.
No. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that.
I would definitely entertain that. 3 hours once a week, we could do that.
And I also would be open to, hey, if there's a big event happening, then maybe we do a bonus edition. If we decide we're going to do it every Wednesday, and there's like just absolutely huge thing, and we're all like, hey, let's do a bonus edition, and we'll do it. And maybe we're back at 5 days a week at some point. If everything gets straightened out, we launched this show in January, and we knew going in that it was going to be tough sledding in terms of kind of breaking into it and finding an audience and finding revenue to support the show. But it's, the fact that there was a split that had nothing to do with us, that had to do with other people associated with, the name of the network and the people who had the financial backing of the network, that unfortunately caught us up in the wake of it. And it kind of set us back to the reset button. And, we all have other things that we need to do. And as much as I love getting on and chopping it up with you guys, and I do miss it on the days that we don't do it. It's, there are other resources with our time for now that I think we were all better off dedicating our time to.
Yes, very true.
Very well said.
But if when I mean post it, I don't mean post, let them know we're going to be on the air. I mean, like, we'll do the show, it's recorded, and then we'll put it on our channel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that's what I mean is that they'll see it. Even if they don't, let's say we decide, all right, every Wednesday, or when 1 week we say we're going to do it on a Monday,
it'll
next
be
week we're
available
going to do it on
for the
Wednesday.
replays.
People can watch it a la carte anytime they want. They can already do that now. So a la carte is always
so we can do it any day we want.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just will it stay topical, but we'll hit topics that will be fairly evergreen. So say for instance there's a Shohei Ohtani type story, we'll talk about the impact of gambling on sports. And
you sure we can't fit one more show in this week with you from the UK? I like that. Yeah, I like when you're in a bar. I like when you're sitting in a pub. Are you in a pub, my friend?
Well, maybe we'll do an impromptu show. Let me get over there and see how
figure it out.
See how Emily feels about that.
Is she working every day, or is she taking the whole time off?
She's working. She's off Friday, so we're going up to the lakes on Friday.
So a potential Thursday. There's a Thursday potential because she'll be in the office.
Let me get over there. Let me get over there
Alrighty.
and see how that's looking from that side. So never say never. I'll be taking my equipment with me, just in case.
Yes, you will.
So
You
Yes,
know
you
what?
will
You
be.
know what? You know, no. You know what? Do it from 39,000 feet this time.
That's another.
And if the
never
flight
been
attendant
done
comes-
before.
If the flight attendant comes and says you can't do it, you just look at her and you say, I don't give a damn about FAA regulations.
Yeah,
This is LFG.
You know what I could do though. I may record an episode of every legal word while I'm on the plane because I'm not broadcasting. I'm just recording. Of course, the people next to me. Maybe I'll enlist the guy next to me to be like, hey, you want to read this with me? You want to kill 2.5 hours of this flight? Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I know. That'd be good. What is that, about a 10-hour flight?
Yeah, like 11 hours. Yeah, so it's a little bit lengthy.
Hey, listen, it's been a full like hour and 51 minutes, and I still haven't placed a bet. I'm getting a little bit itchy.
Let's play the Bing Mats Bookie Sounder. Here you go, Matt Feller, just for you.
What's a weekend of sports without a little action? And no one craves the action more than gambling degenerate aficionado Matt Fowler.
How many sandwiches will he lose this week?
It's time for another edition of Being Matt's Bookie.
All right, this is an unofficial Being Matt's Bookie. We're not gambling sandwiches because we're going to try to help Matt a little bit with his wagering choices, and we want to know some of the thinking that goes into your choices. By the way, we are, since this is like our last one possibly for the week, it looks like we're going to go over a little bit because we still have to get Trivia Tuesday in. So people are going to get bonus coverage today unless you guys got to be somewhere.
No,
all right.
I'm good.
Coach, you good for go a little over today?
Yeah, I could be. I don't think I have to go anywhere.
Okay, all right.
I'm good.
I don't know if the Polish national anthem is going to be playing on loop.
It's funny you said that because I'm watching a story on the Polish army that is ramping up efforts because they are preparing for war with Russia. I'm literally watching that right now on a French news television channel.
It is amazing. All right, Matt. Last night you lost a parlay in which you had selected the Cleveland Guardians to win outright, the over in the Guardians game against the Blue Jays, and the Yankees to win outright. And the Yankees blew a 3-run lead in the 9th inning against the Mariners, and you hit on the first two with the Guardians game, and then the Yankees blew it for you.
Well, no, hang on, Dave. The Blue Jays game, it was completely separate. No, the Guardians are playing the Mets in a series this week, so it was. The Blue Jays were playing, I forget who they were playing, but that was a separate game. But I just bet on the over of just that game.
Then you did a poor job of explaining it on our morning call.
No, I didn't.
I thought like Dave thought it. It was one game between Cleveland and Toronto.
Now I could do that, but anyway, yes. So it was the Toronto game that I bet. It was Toronto and the White Sox. That's what it was.
Oh,
and
okay.
And I bet the over on that game, just the over, and that did go over. And then I bet the Guardians to win against the Mets, and they did win. And then I bet the Yankees to win against the Mariners, and they were up by 3 in the 9th inning. And the first save, I believe it was at Loaizaga with the Yankees. But anyway, they scored 4 runs in the top of the 9th. And some people say, oh, that's why you don't gamble. And that's true. But at the
That's
same
what
time,
I said. Why are you gambling?
But at the same time, you have to admit, Coach, I picked the right one.
It doesn't matter. Why?
No, you didn't.
Why?
'Cause they didn't
win.
win.
You didn't pick the right ones. You picked the wrong one. They lost. So you can't say you picked the right one. I think your stance on this is flawed. Your stance is, well, if they had lost 12-1, then I picked the wrong one. But because they blew a lead in the 9th, I did pick the right one. I mean, either way, it wasn't a winner.
All right.
And I just want to know your logic. I want to know how you come up with these picks.
So part of it is statistical based, and part of it is the ebbs and flows of how baseball usually goes. For example, for example, if a team, and I have one using this reasoning and also lost. If there's a team that they are relatively evenly matched. It's not the Dodgers going up against the Cincinnati Reds. where one team's in
Are
first
the Reds
place.
bad? I thought they were supposed to be a good team.
They're not good.
Okay.
But so if it's a reasonably evenly matched team, but let's say one team takes the first 2 out of the 3-game series, I will most times bet on the team that lost the last 2 games because it's hard to sweep. And usually a team will come out ahead, or they'll win 1 out of the 3 games, and usually it's hard to sweep. So there's that, and then I do look at. Sometimes I'll do a deep dive and say, okay, this pitcher has not fared well against this team specifically, and so I will pick the opposing team even if the other team is favored, because in baseball it's just more random. So here's what I need from you gentlemen. I need some help today.
You're taking a long time to get. Let me just hold on. This is my problem with your thesis though, because we're going to go over. I feel the same way about Billy Beane and the same way about Theo Epstein. It's analytics. I believe they look at a chart and a set of numbers, and they say statistically this is supposed to happen. They make that bet, and when they lose, I think they go home, put their head on the pillow, and say, I did my job. I made the right call. Good night. I don't want that. I want people to have a thought process into what they're doing, and I want them to have an emotion about it.
Yeah.
Well, the minute we lose emotion in sport is the minute I stop paying attention to sport.
Oh no!
That's why we no longer watch baseball.
I mean,
everyone's in analytics.
Oh no, absolutely. I did bet on. I was part of a parlay and I lost it, but I did bet on Minnesota in Game 7, even though Minnesota was a 2-1 underdog and 5.5-point underdogs. I still bet on them because I wanted them to win.
Okay, that's good then. Good for you.
But now my head would go Denver at home in Game 7.
Absolutely, you go with that.
Absolutely, but
yeah.
And for most of the game there, it looked like that was what's going to happen. But things change. But anyway, okay. So I need your guys' help today. What I need is 3 baseball teams. 4 max, but preferably 3 that are decent locks, or not decent.
But again, you're asking us to give you 3 locks on. I've done no research. I've looked at nothing. So you're asking me to give you 3 locks for baseball? I have a better chance of throwing darts. I would tell you just take the 3. Take the teams with the best record. Take the Phillies, Yankees, and Dodgers and see what happens. You know? And I am curious, Matt, if you were to bet the Phillies or the Dodgers or the Yankees, those are the 3 best records in baseball, right? If you were just to bet the 3 of them money line every day on an individual bet, would you be ahead or behind?
I'd be ahead because they all have winning records.
So why don't you just start doing that? You're going to have days the stock's going to go down, but most days the stock is going to go up.
Exactly. That's why you put money on the S&P 500, man. Stop trying to pick stocks. Stop trying to pick them. Just go with the sure thing. Over time, that's going to happen. If the best 3 teams in baseball, just go money line. I think Dave's right. We ought to try that we ought to do that as an experiment once a week when we go to the once a week format. Like we all throw $100 into the hat, and once a week we pick a day where we think the best 3 teams in that sport are playing. And we take them all on the money line and see what we accumulate.
Yeah, not as a parlay though. We take them all individual because if the parlay, if you take a parlay, if it's a parlay, you lose one, you lose all.
I know, but if you win, don't you win 3 times as much?
Maybe we diversify, right? We take 3. If we're each putting in $100, we're starting off with the $300 pot.
That's a lot of money.
So in week one. We put $80 on each of the 3, $80 on each of the 3 favorites individual, and then we put the other 60 on a 3-team parlay.
So
I don't know.
Okay, so all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling today, and you're going to tell me if you feel good about that or not.
Okay.
I'll give you my reasoning, okay?
Okay, but let's make it quick because we still got to do trivia, and it's already noon.
I know. Okay, so I'm thinking 3 teams. I'm thinking Cleveland. They're playing again. The New York Mets. Cleveland is a -135 favorite. The pitcher for New York, he hasn't won a game this year, and he has a pretty big ERA. So I'm thinking that. I'm thinking Milwaukee, they're on the road against the Marlins. Marlins suck. Milwaukee's a favorite, -140, and they blew the game last night, so they're going to be pissed off. And I'm also thinking the New York Yankees, they blew it last night, so they're going to be pissed, and they're a -165 favorite. I might throw another team in there, but those are the three that I'm thinking.
I like the 2 underdogs in your first two bets, Sutherland, and then the Yankees.
The 2 underdogs.
The 2 underdogs and the Yankees.
Really? You're going dogs, huh?
I'm going the 2 dogs. Take the odds. Take the 2 dogs plus the Yankees in a parlay, and there's your winner.
Really?
Yeah. I'm basically gonna go the opposite of whatever you think, Matt, and then take the Yankees because they blew a game last night.
Oh,
so
you've come up with something. Hold on. You've come up with another game we could play with our $100 that's in the pile.
Bet the opposite of Matt.
Matt makes a pick every show.
And
we
bet the opposite.
We bet the opposite.
Yes.
He has to make a legit pick, and you and I go the opposite and see where it goes.
Yes, I like that. That's a winning concept. We're gonna go with that.
Yep.
All right.
The
there we
Mets
go.
pitcher has a 7.44 ERA.
Okay, he's due.
I'll give you a
He's
tip.
due.
Anytime Shota Imanaga pitches for the Cubs, bet on the Cubs.
All right, Shota and Imanaga. Don't know
his
that name.
ERA is like 0.84.
All right.
Is he pitching tonight? Let me see.
He's not pitching tonight. I think he pitched Saturday.
All right. Well, on that note, let's bring Bisa into the show. And Bisa, it's Tuesday. It's Bisa's moment to shine. It's Trivia Tuesday with Bisa.
I have a question for Bisa.
We have not prepared for this segment as as we've not prepared for any segments. And there she is, Bisa coming to us from Las Vegas, where the temperature is hotter than the surface of the sun probably today.
Really?
Is it pool weather in Vegas yet, Bisa?
It's not right now. It just dipped. We're back in the 80s, but we will be over 100
get a sweater.
by Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Good.
I had
Get
a
back
call
to
with my team from India last night, and it was 45 Celsius, which comes out to 114 Fahrenheit. So it's pool weather in India right now.
Yeah.
And humid. That's the other thing. They also get humidity there in India.
Yeah. All right, Bisa, you come up with a trivia question for us, and we do our best. Now, are we a team today, or are we going against each other for our Trivia Tuesday?
You guys can be a team, and I say that because it's sports-based.
Yay.
Okay, love it. So what's our topic today?
Okay. I technically have 2, but I'm going to start with the short one. The top 5 NFL teams with the most wins in a franchise in the regular season through 2023.
You mean like all time winningest franchise?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I gotta go.
This is done per Sunday Night Football.
I gotta go Chicago Bears. Like they've been in the league.
What's the question?
The all-time winningest franchises in NFL history, based upon wins, not win percentage, right?
Yeah.
Total wins.
Right.
I gotta go Chicago Bears.
They are number 2 at 793 wins.
And Green Bay Packers.
They are number 1,
Yes.
799.
Yeah. Yeah, they were neck and neck, and then the Packers owning the Bears as they have for the last decade has pushed the Packers past the Bears.
Let's see. Matt Fowler, you're on deck here.
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Number 4, 671.
Wow. That's a good guess.
I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants.
Oh, you took my guess.
Number 3, 721.
Yeah. That's a really good one.
There's one more.
Oh, man. I'm going to go. All right, the Giants were going to be my pick. I'm going to go. Let me just think it through real quick. I'm going to go. Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
I'm going to go with. Let's see, they were good back in the day. I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins / Commanders.
Good one.
Yes, number
That's a
5.
good call.
Wow.
That's a good one.
629.
I would have
Yep.
taken the Cowboys over the Redskins, but that's interesting that the Redskins are in front of the Cowboys. So there you go. We did pretty well on that. We did all
Yeah.
5 that we gave were good. That was a fantastic effort on our. I mean, that was basically pick the oldest franchises in the NFL. All right. So what is number 2?
I have a better one.
Okay.
The better one. This is the top 20 of all NFL history touchdown pass leaders per ESPN.
You got to go Tom Brady.
Tom is number 1 at 649.
Peyton Manning.
Number 3 at 539.
Drew Brees.
Number 2, 571.
Wow.
Okay. Those were the easy 3. Dan Marino.
Oh, you took my guess again.
Number 7, 420.
Golly, that's a good guess. I'm going. This is gonna be a bad one off the board. I'm gonna go. Oh, wait a minute. Well, is Joe? I don't think they scored enough. Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills.
No.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Brett Favre.
Number
Good
4,
one.
508.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm going to go with John Elway.
14, 300.
And it's former players. It's not current. It's not active guys.
No, it's a mix of both.
Mix of both.
All.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Number 5, 475.
Wow. Wow, to have the Packers have 4 and 5 on the list. That's a run on quarterbacks, man.
I'm gonna go with the notorious HR nightmare, Russell Wilson.
HR nightmare.
He's 13 at 334.
How many years has Mahomes been in the league? Like 7? He's probably
Yeah, it's not been a long time.
He's probably thrown 35 a year. I don't know what number, so that puts him. He's probably thrown like 240, but I don't know if that's enough to be on the list. But whatever, I'll give it a shot. Mahomes on Mahomes.
No.
No. Okay.
Did we guess Dan Marino?
Yes.
Yes.
We did? Okay. Boy, how about Philip Rivers? Philip Rivers.
Number 6, 421.
Wow.
Boom. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna go with, again, throwback, Warren Moon.
16, 291.
Good one.
How about Ben Roethlisberger?
Great pick. Great
Number
choice.
8, 418.
Did we do the 49er guys yet?
Nobody.
Steve Young?
No.
No? Okay. Boo, you suck, 8.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with the backup to Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe.
Not top 20.
How about Matt Ryan?
Number 9, 381.
That's a really good one. He could spin it. Matt Ryan could spin it. How about one Dak Alicious Prescott?
No.
Oh. I needed him on there at $50 million a year.
How about Joe Flacco?
No.
No Joe Flacco. All right, he's been in the league possibly long enough. How about Lamar Jackson?
No.
Okay.
I will give you a hint. There are some older names. They have not been active.
Now we're talking. Jim Zorn. Jim Zorn, Seattle Seahawks.
No.
Oh.
Jim Zorn.
Let's see. Fran Tarkenton.
That's a great
Yes.
name.
Number 12.
Great name, Matt.
342.
Wow.
Great name.
Well, I mean, and nobody said him yet. Joe Montana.
Number 19, 273.
There you go.
Ooh, I got one. I go ahead, Coz, but I got one for my next.
John Brody, the great John Brody.
No Brody.
Oh.
Older names. Vinny Testaverde?
Number 18, 275.
Wow.
I would never, if you would have given me him on a list of names to pick, I would have crossed his name off and not said his name.
Give me the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner.
No.
Wow, Warner's not
I'm
on
surprised by that. I am really surprised by that.
there. Yeah.
John Hadel, Hadl, John Hadel.
No.
Dan Fouts.
No.
Wow. Eric Coryell has nobody on the list?
Let's see. Carson Palmer.
Number 15, 294.
Wow, Carson Palmer. All right, how many are we missing at this point?
I don't know, Matt, as he looks at his screen and is reading names off the screen.
I am not reading names off the screen.
Oh, no. You're not even looking at the camera. I'm watching TV. I'm watching French television right now, so I'm not looking at a list.
4 more. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I don't think he's going to be on the list, but it's worth a shot. How about Steve McNair?
No.
How about a little guy by the name of Bob Greasy?
No.
Oh.
Is there really a guy named Bob Greasy?
Yeah, you really don't know that? Brian, do you know who Brian Greasy is? Brian Greasy's the 49er guy who basically got the team to draft Brock Purdy, so you should know who he is. And his dad was a guy named Bob Greasy, who was the quarterback of the undefeated Dolphins team.
Okay, I don't know. How about the only kryptonite to Tom Brady, Eli Manning?
That's a good one.
Yes, number 10, 366.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
How about Johnny Unitas?
17, 298.
Thank you.
Oh, so we got one left. This is probably not on the list again, but maybe worth a shot. Donovan McNabb.
No.
That's funny. You know what? It's funny. I was thinking the same team, and I was going to say Randall Cunningham.
No.
Did somebody say Elway yet?
Yes.
Okay. Man.
I can't believe Jim Zorn's not on the list.
You want me to tell you the top 20?
Yeah, because we're only missing one, right? Just give us a list, because the music bed ran out, which means we've been going on for 10 minutes and we're over on the show anyway. So, so why don't you count it down for us, Bisa?
At 20, we have Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins?
Wow.
You can spin it.
270.
That's
Suck
crazy.
on that, Matt. Suck on that, Matt Fowler.
19, Joe Montana. 18, Vinny Testaverde. 17, Johnny Unitas. 16, Warren Moon. 15, Carson Palmer. 14, John Elway. 13, Russell Wilson. 12, Fran Tarkenton. 11, Matthew Stafford. 10, Eli Manning. 9, Matthew Ryan. 8, Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow.
7, Dan Marino. 6, Phillip Rivers. 5, Aaron Rodgers. 4, Brett Favre. 3, Peyton Manning. 2, Drew Brees. And number 1, Tom Brady.
Wow.
That's
good stuff right there. All right, guys and ladies, that does it for this edition of LFG. We'll talk in the next couple of days and see. Maybe we'll do an impromptu quick hitter from London this week, but something next week for sure. And that's going to do it for our Tuesday edition. Thanks for playing, everybody. Next time I talk to you guys will be from across the pond. We'll see you then. Can't wait to get to London. See you guys later. Bye.
See you.
You are an actress, a porn actress, right?
Yes.
Hey, how long does it take?
Well, you signed it. That's your signature on it, right?
What is the date on that truth post by Mr. Trump calling you a horse face and sleaze bag?
I think the jury is entitled to know.
I'll do it briefly.
Very briefly.
And I said, someone should spank you with that. That's the only interest I have in that magazine.
Counselor, we discussed this.
No, we did not. Not about this, Your Honor. And isn't it a fact that you were the one who attacked your boyfriend?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you have any intention of approaching either Mr. Trump or Michael Cohen, his attorney, to have them pay for your story?
What about your wife? He said, don't worry about that. We don't even sleep in the same room.